Hey guys, hello and what's up, and welcome to another episode of TND Extra. That's right, it's They're Not Dolls Extra, members only, member Migos, late night Migos. But tonight, there is no cover charge. Ladies in free before 9. The door is open, so come on in, have a seat, and join us. And let's get into some extra talk tonight. Joining me, as always, the number one members only, the Chamba's in the house.
Yo.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Good.
Ready to
this
get
is
into
going to be a
this?
fun one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Mhm.
And as always, the one and only Augie is here. What's going on, Augie?
Hey, ready to talk extra stuff.
Yes.
Well, by
And
the
then,
way, ladies
what's
for
up?
9, also guys and ladies free before 9, not just
Yeah.
two.
But I mean, if you let the ladies in free, the guys are gonna
Everyone.
come
I know, but it's like
automatically,
Yoko.
and everybody. Oh God! Now
Every-
she's gonna kick.
The guys
my
are
butt.
here too. You guys are also free.
Everyone in free. Come on
Hey.
in. There you go. Let's do it. You got it. And we do have guests like Yoko sometimes. She's not here tonight, but we do have J Shots in the house.
I'm muted. Apparently, it's my first time. What if I've already paid? How do I get a refund?
Nope, sorry, no refunds at all.
Oh, okay.
Especially
Back to
guests.
mute.
Yeah, nope,
Dang.
not tonight. I am keeping it, and I'm hitting Denny's after the club. It's going to be great.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I miss Denny's.
worth it.
See, but
Worth it.
Yoko's here. Yeah.
Oh.
So we do actually have a very special guest tonight, even though he was told he didn't have to. He did stick around. The only one playing with myself is in the building.
What have I done?
Well,
Right.
now I'm playing with myself because Adam's
Welcome.
here.
It's only
Oh.
now, dude.
Yeah.
Did that V get deeper in between the two shows? It looks like
It
it got
seems
deeper.
like it
I mean, I
did.
right?
I'm
I just
stretching it.
give-
Gorgeous
Yeah.
cleave. Gorgeous cleave.
Let one slip. Yes. Welcome to the extra. And of course, the Hefe in charge, Cheney 180, is here. Already cracked one open before the show. Things are going to get crazy tonight.
Hey.
How's it going, man?
Good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So this is the extra. It is episode 152. You know, doors open for everybody. But usually this is a members only thing. We do this live for you. And if you are brand new or you want a membership or you are here checking out the layout of the house, this is what we do. We get into all sorts of topics. I mean, whether it just, and sometimes it rolls back into toys. Sometimes it doesn't. We do Snack Migo episodes here, and those get crazy because then we get hungry. Chamba is a lucky one because he can immediately leave and go get food, you know, and that's like we have to wait till we all wake up. You know, but then you got the East Coast folks who are halfway falling asleep late
Mhm.
here with us, but they're still here with us. And then we get into all sorts of crazy talk. I mean, from entertainment news to movies, TV shows, anything funny, old stories. Like, it's just kind of an open floor here. And we like to do that for you, you know, as a way of giving back and to see kind of, you know, what happens in the green room, what's going on behind the curtain before we start. Yeah, like that. We do have extra
stores
guests.
not open
sometimes.
late by you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you don't have. Like
I like how long it
7-Eleven or
took you to
something?
process that.
Yeah.
Like it's just weird to me that it's like, oh, we can't. None of us can get snacks until tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we like, you know, the stuff that we get into and talk about. No, everything's closed. It's pretty hood around here, bro. You got to close like at 9.
Like a gas station, quickie mart kind of situation.
Who's going to pay
Nothing?
those prices?
Oh,
No
you have
way.
to understand there's rules that Ernie goes by.
like
Yeah.
how? Like I know you love those little white powdered donuts.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. Especially
Hey,
if you, and I will
Have
buy
you
the one that's
tried
like in
the
an
peanut
8
butter
pack?
and jelly Reese's cups
I
yet?
want to try those.
I did. It was pretty good.
I found them at Target. I have them in the kitchen.
Nice.
I almost got in a fight at Circle K for those, speaking of.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, because they had them in the wrong bin. They had them marked down at the register for 80 cents. And so I grabbed a couple and they rang up for like $3.50. And I was like, excuse me. Nope. This sign says 80 cents. She's like, oh, hey, those aren't supposed to be in there. Sorry, they are. Let me, you know, and if refund me or what's going down. And so yeah, they're pretty good. For 80 cents, I liked them.
Yeah, but they were good. They were. Did you try the grape and the strawberry, or just one?
I put it all in my mouth. So this
I
way it
don't know.
was
Like, I feel like you're lying about all of this.
no.
Liar.
I hit up Circle
liar,
K
liar.
every day.
Hands have ignited.
I hit
All
up
of the
Circle K
lying.
every day. We still have one up here that has the Polar Pops for 89 cents. Now you know you're believing my story. Like,
and now that,
yeah.
and now I know that they hate you because you go in there every day to get the 89-cent Polar Pop, and that's it.
That is
I
all
can
get.
imagine, like, Ernie just goes in,
I don't get
waits
any-
until they're looking in another direction, and dumps the whatever he wants into the sale thing. And he's like, "Look, it was
No,
in the sale bin."
It was
no,
there.
that was genuine. They lined him up there. It was supposed to be the Reese's eggs from Easter that they were marking down, and somebody put them all in the basket. So that's not my bad.
No.
Like, if they're there, well, now you switch it, but give me my 2. So yeah.
Do you
I
eat
mean,
the hot dogs at 7-Eleven?
not at 7-Eleven, but Circle K. Yeah, I've had some. They're pretty good. They roll in there. They're delicious. Why not? Actually, Saul will attest to that because Saul almost lost his stuff with me one time. Because, okay, so Saul is my partner. He's the same age as my kids. If you watch the show, you know who he is. But he rolls with me every day in our work truck. And he is firmly a believer in the Ernieism that this is just my life. And he does wish that I was filmed 24 hours a day. Because about a month ago, I lost my crap because I did actually get a hot dog and a Polar Pop, and they had a bag of chips, and it was $3. Okay, how could you not get that? Right? I understand it's 7:30 in the morning, but it's delicious. Okay, it's $3.
How
So
can
I
you not
loaded-
get that? And the answer is diarrhea.
Yeah.
I
Well,
loaded it up.
this is
with-
the other excuse why he has to stop by Target after that.
Target, yeah, the Target
loaded
bathroom.
Ah,
I loaded it up with ketchup, and then I go to get in the truck, and I tripped getting into the truck, and the hot dog rolled onto my seat, and ketchup all on my seat, dude.
And you're definitely not eating it once it's been on the seat, right?
Oh no, he is.
What?
yeah.
It was a lot of
Yeah,
ketchup, and I wiped my
Uh-huh.
seat, and so I
See?
wiped it,
Yep.
and it was clean on the top.
Oh my
Yeah, but-
god.
Ernie,
Oh,
that seat, right? You've
had
cooked on
your
that seat.
ass.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
It has a
but
seat
that-
cover on it.
The sad
Yeah,
No.
but
it doesn't matter. Your
all
ass
the
was
gas,
on it.
all the gas that it's accumulated.
I don't fart in my own chair at work. That would be deadly.
I don't believe you.
No,
I mean-
at work, dude, I get off enough that I can
All
walk
right.
away from the
All
truck.
right.
Like I'm walking up to the customer, you know, and I'm letting out the Darth farts, like just.
Yeah, but your ass,
And they never
ass
know.
has been sitting in other places that asses have been, and it's
It's been
transferring
stewing.
assness.
Mm.
Ass
It's also a $3 hot dog. Like
Yeah.
I'm
You
already
don't want to waste
probably.
$3.
Yeah, I shouldn't
Oh,
be
okay.
eating that in the first place. So there was ketchup everywhere. I was really mad.
Janie's
sad
so
part-
glad that I'm here for this. That
The
we've
sad part
derailed
about
from
this.
snack migos into ass talk.
Well, no, the sad part about this is Born Tatum with a very generous super chat says most embarrassing moment ever, everybody, and that's not even Ernie's.
That's not embarrassing at all.
That was just a day at work.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, I eat ass hot dogs all the time.
It's just a Tuesday for Ernie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Gotta get going. What are we gonna do? So see, we get into things like this. But we
Thank you, Born.
we'll go
We
over
will,
and
we will answer your question.
yeah, we'll acknowledge the late night Migos. We do have special guests. Usually Yoko's here. She's not available tonight.
What are you
Who else
talking
is here? Machu shows up here. We have everything. But we do start it off with a little thing of Augie running into what he's been watching, and we'll also go there. And then we'll say hello to the chat, and we'll roll from there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is what we do. So, Augie, go ahead and explain. What is it that you're going to talk about?
Okay, so I've been on this saga. Every week we do a recap about how far along I've gotten on One Piece. I go full screen if you guys are trying to not hear spoilers on One Piece. I would suggest like maybe muting it and wait for my screen to get small because we talk about what I've got, what I've seen, and what I like about it, what questions I have, and what things I think it might be happening. And also, it's funny we're doing this on the free show because when I do this,
Oh,
it means I've completed another 100 episodes. So I have just crossed episode 700.
Yeah.
Yay.
We got a very generous super chat from Plastic Bubble. Thank you so much. I don't think that hot dog is kosher.
Probably not.
$3, dude. Come on.
Yeah,
might have started as, but definitely
Yeah.
not after.
it didn't end up that way.
Nope. Yeah, so I'm really, really, really far into One Piece now, into Dressrosa. I was right. That was Koala. I got really excited about that. I've also I stopped watching it on Netflix. I started watching it on Crunchyroll, which I
Nice.
did not realize because I was asking you guys about the specials in the movies and where they fit and stuff. They insert the specials and the movies chronologically where they would go.
Mhm.
So I actually got to episode 699. Then there was like 2 specials I had to get through before getting to 700. I kind of wished I might backtrack and watch all the movies, even though I know they're not canon. Interesting stuff. Like I really liked Koala, being alive and she's working with Sabo. That was obvious. It was weird he was in shadow and Luffy's bawling his eyes out. That was such a sweet reunion, by the way.
Mhm.
And it was weird, like he couldn't say Sabo and they wouldn't show his face and they were blurring it out. And then like in the previews or like the updates, like the recaps of the previous, like, and then Sabo shows up. I'm like, okay, so we're saying that's who it is. So why are you not showing his face? They're mentioning it in the previews. And I just thought that was really annoying. I actually hit my first ever part of One Piece where I was like, this doesn't make sense to me, which was Sugar. I don't understand how she wasn't killed or beaten, because I know that there's a thing about probably showing children in pain, but they went over and over and over saying that she's not really a child. She just hasn't aged.
Mhm.
She just looks like a child. And I thought that would be an out. I thought it was a bit weak that Robin got turned into a doll when she could have just clutched her and just broke her neck right then and there. Yeah, that was the only part that, I mean, the whole Usopp part was hilarious. Just
Oh
like
my
scary or
God.
unconscious was so good. Twice.
Yeah.
And Usopp unlocking observation hockey, I believe. That was
Okay.
cool. That's what it looked like to me. Like he's unlocking some kind of hockey for sure. Because that just kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't know what's happened yet, but is it
Mr.
not?
Observant, you should be observant because you are very observant normally, right?
Yes.
If you recall back at this point, a lot of things that happened in the past, you'll see that what you're seeing now did not come out of nowhere.
Oh.
Yes, that's basically like a lot of cool things.
Is
it's
it
like,
addressed
cool.
later, I guess? Do they actually talk about it, or should I have just pieced it together?
I mean, you've essentially pieced it at this point. You've pieced it.
He does that a lot though. Like he'll piece stuff together.
Yeah, that's
ahead of
why.
time.
But that's why, like, you're so
Like
observant
guessing
with
koala.
this that, right? You're super observant with this. So the fact that you're like maybe, and it's like the fact that you said it came out of nowhere. If you actually recall a lot of the things that has happened, it's not something that just came out of nowhere.
Oh, I
It's
should
like,
go back. Oh, now you make me want to backtrack, which is
Yeah.
super fun.
which is really cool because you're like, wait a second, why would? It's like everything that he does, you're like, it makes more sense now, basically.
It's weird. He like really, really has to freak out before he dials in.
Of course,
which is
of
sort
course.
like how hockey is. It's like a survival mechanism that kind of unlocks.
In a way, obviously, like
In a
to a
way.
point where it's like the ones that can't control it, they just know what they're doing at that point, right? But for someone who is unaware of it, it is just that fight or flight type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
exactly.
if you observe back with a lot of the
It's
things
like
that
it's
he's done
like
in the
mutant
past,
powers in X-Men. Like
100%.
sometimes they're stress induced that they unlock.
Mhm.
That's
But
the
yeah,
best
a
way
lot
to
of the
put it.
stuff in the past, you're like, okay, that makes more sense how he was able
Yeah.
to do certain things and stuff. But yeah,
The
it's cool.
backstory stuff was really cool. I had a running theory that the tin soldier was her father. I was right. I also
Again,
thought
observant.
I
Yeah.
also thought the statue was her father. The thing that I thought was really cool for those of you who have never seen One Piece or think there might be interesting, there's a really cool curse they do on the show. There's a villain named Sugar, and the town that in Dressrosa, humans are side by side with toys. And people are like, why are there living toys walking around with these people? It makes no sense. What you find out is there's actually a curse, and all of those toys were people, which that part I assumed. But, well, they hint at it right away because there's a toy screaming at a woman saying, you don't remember me, I'm your husband, and he gets dragged off. So I was like, that's clearly a hint. And then, so Sugar has the ability to turn you into a toy. She has a devil fruit power that turns you, the hobby fruit, turns you into a toy. But the curse of it is the moment you turn into a toy, everyone forgets you've ever existed. So no one rescues you because no one thinks to rescue you because they've all forgotten about you.
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
It's a nightmare.
Mhm.
You're trapped in the toy. And as long as the toy works, like you work, like you don't really sleep, you don't really eat, you're trapped, and no one knows to even think to save you because they've forgotten you. That was also a big thing where Luffy was in danger, and it wasn't just that they had to get him before Sugar could touch him. It was the idea that if she touches him, they won't even think to save him. They won't, because they'll forget about his existence. So when we were talking about One Piece in terms of it being like 20 different shows in one, like this whole Dressrosa arc could have been its own show. Not even like a season of a show or an arc of a show. The whole thing, it's like doing the whole Disney universe, and they all exist at the same time, and they jump from like Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King. Like it's like they go right in, but it's the same characters going from film to film. So
That would be cool.
Like Power Rangers is the same way. Like they have certain arcs that are really cool, and then they have certain ones that are kind of But it's like with One Piece, it's like every single one of them is really good. And it's all different settings, all different themes. The one thing that I thought was really weird, they love killing moms. A lot of mom dying. Like in the Fishman arc, the mom died. Rebecca's mom died in Dressrosa. Nami's mom was killed. Robin's mom was killed. There's a lot of
Shirahoshi.
like a lot of the storylines move forward is by the murder of the mom, which I was like, oh, this is getting a little like kind of getting beaten.
Just like Disney. There you go.
Like you said, yeah.
There's your connection.
Yep.
One thing I thought was pretty cool was Rebecca realizing she had a dad once the toy soldier came back to being Kyros, and I thought that was really sweet. Like the reunion was really cool, and I thought was really funny was like I didn't understand why he cut off the top of his leg when they shackled his ankle. I was like, you couldn't cut your leg a little lower. He just hacked off, like just not even thinking, just cut off the top of his leg.
That's the thing. He wasn't
a little
thinking.
high there.
He wasn't thinking.
He was
But
very
also,
angry.
he did instantly turn into a toy. So it was before he bled out.
That's
so thank goodness. But one thing I thought was pretty cool is like when you're 6 years old and like something happens to you and you're trying to remember being 6, it's kind of blurry. So I did like that, even though like Sabo was interesting because they were like blacking out his face or whatever just for drama. I thought it was interesting the choice on her. His face is shadowed the whole time. But it was also because I think they wanted some kind of dramatic buildup. But at the same time, I thought it was cool because I was like, that's like if you were 6 years old and you're trying to remember your dad, you don't like you remember certain shapes and you remember he has dark hair, or you remember he was wearing green, he had a cape, but you don't necessarily remember his face. And it's not that he disappeared, he literally disappeared, like from your consciousness and your memories. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like her seeing him for the first time was her like really seeing him for the first time because it's just been so long. Been what, 10 years? What else? I was trying to think of the Don Flamingo stuff is so that's where I'm at right now. I'm at Don Flamingo's why he's a bad guy, the backstory from being a celestial dragon, the naivety of his dad. I'm in the middle of that, and that's so messed up. It's really, really sad. And the whole thing with Law and losing his parents and his sister, that was really sad.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to think if there's anything I was predicting. They kept bringing up the white lead poisoning that Law had, and I was sort of curious if they're going to bring that back as like a thing. Doflamingo might bring it back as a way to like plague the earth or whatever. But I understand now. I get Doflamingo's It's weird. He's just like a bad kid, but he also had like a messed up background. It looks like. I'm only halfway through it, but I assume. Well, I think he said to Law he killed his own dad. I think he said his mother was killed and he killed his own father, something like that as kids. So I'm watching that right now. I'm watching the villain arc. Why they're explaining why he's the villain that they're fighting, why he's the villain. Got a little like a Magneto origin thing going to try to make him a little more sympathetic. I don't think it'll make him sympathetic because he was kind of a rotten egg as a kid, but it's still like why the government's kind of messed up. But I was actually telling someone the other day, one of my regulars, that I was like, you should watch the show because he's like, not super into pirates. And I was like, well, it's about freedom and there's politics, there's the world government. And he's like, okay, political stuff, I love it. I was like, well, then watch One Piece. It's got a little something for everything. Really cool. I mean, it is. It's true.
Oh, yeah.
It's about being free and like people who are responsible for following the law, they're not really following the law. And then you have people who you assume are lawbreakers just because they're pirates, but they're actually the good guys. And you understand why they are pirates because they're in a position they're in, and it stands for freedom. And Luffy reuniting with Sabo was so sad. I was bawling. I thought that was so sweet.
That was a great part of the story, by the way.
Oh my gosh. Like that, I was like, what a great idea having the other brother being the one who inherits the flame. I was like, what a great idea. And it was cool seeing how Sabo has learned to fight and being in the Revolutionary Army. And I liked Koala saying, oh my God, I can't wait to see Robin. Like, I love that they have a backstory. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff of characters meeting each other. And Koala knows like Fishman karate. I would buy a figure of Robin of a Koala in a second. Like,
I'd get one of Robin too.
Yeah, long overdue. Man, they love animating her chest. Let me tell you. Man, I was like they love animating Robin. I was laughing very hard at some of the shots. I was like, man, they dig this character. But Robin's really cool. There's certain things about her though during this arc where I'm like, Robin would have taken all this out by herself. There were certain scenes where I felt like almost like she was holding back so they could move the story forward. Because I felt like she was put in predicaments where I was like, I know she can get out of this in 2 seconds by herself. But whatever, it's fine.
Okay.
But I've been loving it like crazy. There's no like we're getting at the hyper nitpicks. It's still like a 10 out of 10. That show's amazing.
All right.
That's it.
Let's see. Adam, what have you been watching lately?
I mean, like lately is Andor.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. I think I'm only like 4 or 5 episodes in though so far.
And how do you feel so far?
I mean, like I think Andor is a pretty great show. Overall, it's it makes me like Star Wars still.
Ooh.
Nice.
So
I like that answer. Yeah.
Awesome. J-Shot, what about you?
I'm still watching Superman, the cartoon. Haven't started Andor yet. I did watch Revenge of the Sith for like the 100th time the other day too.
Nice.
But I do want to note what is crazy now is I am starting to understand One Piece through Augie. Like I am starting to put things together. Like I think last time you were talking about how the fruit, the like witch used the fruit to turn people to art, and now this one is using it to turn people to toys. I was like, so now I'm like, okay, so the fruit has magical powers.
Yes.
Yeah,
Each fruit has a different ability.
has a different ability. I'm starting to
And they don't
put it
duplicate.
together.
There's no duplicates.
Okay. So
Oh
yeah. So as crazy as it sounds, I'm starting to follow the story. So,
All right.
700 episodes though. Whew.
That is it's 1,000, but you you should be all right.
1120 something.
Yeah.
No, isn't it? I thought it was at 1,300.
Doesn't matter. It's over 1,000.
Yeah. It's over
How
a
long is
thousand.
each
Halfway
episode?
there.
20 minutes, 22 minutes,
Yes.
give or take.
Okay.
You can do it.
Yeah.
The
Sure.
episodes are only like
my
7
son and I are we're at Fishman Island. Like
Hey.
we're cranking.
Oh, Adam, you can get way past that now because they did the remastered episodes recently, and they condense. You get better animation. They condense it from like 50.
Is that-
down to 13.
I'm watching on Crunchyroll and I'm watching dubbed.
Oh,
I don't know if it's dubbed, but
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh,
Well,
if I'm watching it, I'm totally watching dub.
I might
For
watch
sure,
them
watch it,
both.
Dub.
I might
Yeah.
watch them both because I saw the Kaido figure yesterday at Frankenstein's, and my friend plays Kaido. So I was telling him like, hey, you want this toy? And he goes, where are you at One Piece? I told him, I was like, oh, I just crossed 700. He's like, oh, you're almost at where I'm gonna start coming in. And I was like, okay, cool, because I'm gonna watch him in both Japanese and English because I want to see his performance. So I will start watching the dub soon, and do both.
All right. What about you, Chamba? What have you been watching?
My Hero Academia Vigilantes is awesome. I'm loving it so far. It's really staying true to the manga. So if you enjoyed the manga, or if you haven't read the manga, just definitely check it out. It's actually cool because I think one thing that I liked about this more than the mainline story is that the mainline story kind of focused too much on the students and then the pro heroes. This one, you got a lot of the street levels, and I like that more. It also builds the world a little bit better. I caught two films, I think it was. The Day the Earth Blew Up, the Looney Tunes one. That's the animated one. With,
how was it?
Oh, I heard it was good.
I loved it. It's if you're a fan of like that kind of animation, this is it. I would love more of it, but I know that Warner Brothers, it seems like they don't really care about doing anything in regards to anime. Yeah, they did not promote this at all. They barely put it in the cinema. So
Yeah, I didn't even know anything about it till you said something.
it's fantastic. It is fantastic. I also caught Death of a Unicorn. It's a A24 film. It's kind of I guess it's comedy. It's comedy fantasy. It was fun. Yeah, those are the ones that I caught this week. Stood out.
Okay.
And obviously reading manga, but that's an all. One Piece and all that. Dandadan's really good, by the way.
Yeah.
Whew. That one's cooking. That one is cooking.
All right. I've been watching Fire Force still. Still on Fire Force. I'm in
season 3?
2. Not yet. I'm in season 2. Season 2. Cooking through season 2. It's pretty interesting. I'm having fun with it.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Ernie?
During vacation, lots of Star Wars. Watched all the Twilights again, and then came home and caught up on some Andor, which is just fantastic, and saw Thunderbolts as well, which is a great movie as well. Highly recommend it. It's exciting to get like a feel of like a new restart for MCU. Like, okay, here's our next adventure we're going to start. And so definitely was into it. Laugh, cried, deep feelings. It was a great movie. It was cool.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
J-Shot, the Thunderbolts all have crippling depression also.
See? Yeah. So that's the team I'll join up with. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. I had no clue, so it was great. It was good.
All right. Shall we check in with our wonderful member and non-member amigos?
Yeah, let's see who's hanging out tonight.
Okay.
We got Zio Adams throwing up the high 10s for Yoko Ayo. Toy Renzu's here. What's up, Renzi? Sup, nerds? Matt Logic. What's up, Matt Logic? Hello, everyone. Maddie, says Renzi. Renzu. Hope all is well, my friend. Same, my dude. Johnny Cock is here. Here we go. What's up? Stormfire Blizzard. Greetings and salutations. I'm back for more.
Hey.
Playing with myself with the eyes emoji, staring at his figure. Marcus is here. What's up, guys? Zion Collectibles. NMO Takeover. Not today, though. They're already tucked in. What's up, Zion? Jurassic Jesse's here. What's up, Jesser? Rawr. Hope you guys are showing Lago some respect around here. Oh, wow. It's flowing.
I do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they try to talk trash about Chamba, but then they're like, no, we all like him.
And it all turns around. Zion says, but what up, Migos?
What up?
Zion? Brad Harper is here. Hi, Bradley. How are you? Bull Lady's here. Hello, hello. What's up? Twin Migos After Dark. Yeah, it gets there sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Antonio Banks here. Tazzy. Yo, what's up? Welcome to the show. Yo, that sitcom intro turnaround.
Oh, I'm glad you got the reference.
Yes. Yoko, but I'm here. Hi, Yoko.
Yes.
A wild Yoko has appeared. Who's buying me a drink? That's right. Muscle McCann making sure y'all don't get out of line. Yes. What?
Yeah.
Brick something. Hi, all. What's up, Brick? Yoko, you want a beer, wine, or cocktail? Good question. And Zion says, yes. What are we drinking?
Options.
Showing the muscles.
Yes is the correct answer.
Yes.
Yes is the correct answer.
Yeah. Yes to
Yeah.
all 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plastic Bubbles present. What's up? Oh, man, I feel I got to do a 7-Eleven run now.
Not at the end of that story.
Born Tatum is here. Hey. Wings and wedges. 7-Eleven sells wedges?
Yeah, they do. Your dog is so cute.
Really? Oh, my God. Figure Fight Club. Hey, y'all. For the record, everything around me is closed. See? Yeah. Manic Mike. Thanks to the hookups. What's up, Manic Mike? The other day, I got the Skittles and Pink Starburst gummies from the gas station to snack while I catch the replay from Tuesday's show.
Nice.
Catch up. 7-Eleven, Big Bite hot dogs, and then you go to the chili and cheese dispenser.
Oh, boy.
Why am I not hitting the 7-Eleven?
Yeah,
drive
dude.
by?
White
Hell.
tongues.
Yeah. And sweaty. Oh, yeah. Yoko, I love that entire story, Ernie. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I said I hated the entire story. Yeah. Let's hear it. I thought Adam was a special guest.
Yeah.
Adam's just always special. I left off just before Skypea arc. Spoil away. Is that right? Skypea?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you said it right. Yep.
All right. No, you're crying, Augie.
I was.
I'd buy a cortisone figure.
Cortisone, yeah.
Cortisone. That guy was dope.
He was.
And it's only getting better. Just watch it, J-Shot. What are you going to do? Watch DC Turtles for the 1,000th time?
Maybe.
For the record, I hadn't seen Superman. That was why I was watching it. But yeah, sure. All right.
It's so good though, right?
It's over 9,000.
I love it.
Hey, One Piece dub is decent.
I've seen clips. I like it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Especially Frankie.
Oh, whoa. Japanese Frankie's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Japanese Frankie sounds like a really old dude.
Well, he's a really great, really old dude. He's so good.
Francisco. Howdy.
Howdy.
Super.
Zion says, give the rights to Jada so we can get some Looney Tunes
Dude,
steak.
if only.
Yeah. So I can put away all my McDonald's ones.
Check out the movie. It's fantastic.
Hendo's here.
Do the Looney Tunes ever do are they mascots for any cereal?
No.
Not
I
that I
don't
really
Like
recall.
Flintstones and they don't do that.
Yeah, you're trying to look for a loophole, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like where can we figure this out?
Yeah. So
They had
Trauma
like
is the
Looney
enemy.
Tunes like fruit snacks, right? Like so like
Yes.
Jada
Yes, they
should get
did.
the fruit snacks
Yeah.
license.
Yeah. Oh, it's food.
Is it?
So-
Well, I was going to say, isn't that still General Mills?
Probably.
Those fruit
Maybe.
snacks?
Maybe.
I'm trying to find a loophole here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
find a loophole.
I'll have
there.
a meeting with June this weekend. I'll see what we can do.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah, let him know.
Yeah.
Yes.
He
So
still won't
Trauma
come on your
is-
show though.
Serious? You
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
think so?
Yeah.
Johnny says, so trauma is the enemy.
Yeah,
Always.
Sometimes it's your friend
Always.
as well, too. What's up, Rhino Hobbies?
Yo.
Hello.
What up?
Hello.
Merman. Well, hey, everybody. I'm Merman, and I love fish sticks. I'm Merman.
Nice.
Hey, Merman.
All right.
All right.
Lemon.
No, but if Jada can do tricks, for sure they can do bugs.
Sure.
I mean, it's not the same, really.
Yeah.
Different bunnies. Have we
Yeah.
checked in on June since the tariff scares?
Yes.
He's doing all right.
Yeah.
Scooby
Survivors.
Snacks, gummy edition of Scooby-Doo figures.
That would be neat.
Oh, like different plastic.
Yeah,
Con
translucent
exclusive.
plastic. Yeah.
Oh my
That could
god,
be
I would
fun.
love
Most
that.
That'd be
successful
cool.
Comic-Con exclusive ever.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that'd be
god,
great.
yeah. Looney Tunes did Wheaties with Michael Jordan for Space Jam.
So it'd be like Space Jam.
That's Space Jam, though.
Yeah.
They'd
different,
be in the
yeah.
basketball outfits.
But if they're soft goods, you can take
The
them
figure report. What's up, Mikey? Oh, hi.
off. Yo.
What up?
I've
Nice.
okay. All right.
We're all caught up.
I've indeed.
So we. Oh, he says I'd give June my check if they needed it. Oh, it's very nice.
Yeah.
Um,
I recycle those molds for Keshi.
Mm.
What's up, Diggs Figs? General Mills, Looney Tunes back in action. The Serial
There you go.
2003.
okay.
See? Boom. There we go.
Beautiful.
All right.
Blue ball.
Good job, Diggs.
Ernie, go tell June this weekend when you
Yes.
have a meeting with him.
I will.
Yep.
I'll mention it. We'll get those.
So I wanted to bring up Bourne's question here. Most embarrassing moment, Ernie.
Most embarrassing moment. Okay. Man, but this will be cool. Member Migos, but I understand it's open. But we'll get into one. So okay, Chamba was talking about farting. So, and I said I had to walk away. Right? I can't believe I'm going to say this. So me and Corinne had just started hanging out and doing Disneyland all the time and everything. Look at Adam. I can't believe I'm fucking saying this. Okay, so we started hanging out and everything. And it was a long day. And sometimes, I'm not one of those open dudes who's like, no, I've never been that way. Like, I hate going into public restrooms, everything. So
Zion says, "Oh, a love story."
we had been at Disney all day, and I went to take her home, and I got her in the car, and she gets in, and I walked around the side, and I was like, "Oh my god, finally!" Well, I was up against the car, and I didn't know it was that bad, dude. And I farted against the car, and it just rumbled it, like rumbled the back of the car, like bass speakers.
And that's when she knew it was.
Yeah.
That was
And I'm
that.
like, oh, and I didn't realize. I didn't. I was just like, oh god, like I didn't know it did that.
Relief. You were just relief, finally.
Yes. And so I waited and I put everything in. Then I opened up the door, dude, and she lost her stuff and was just in tears, crying. And I'm like, what happened? And she's like, it rumbled in here. I totally heard that. And I was like, I didn't know what to do, dude. I was like so red, and I was like, oh my
That's
God.
awesome.
No, that didn't happen. She still mentions it till this day. We literally just left Disneyland the other day and says, do you need to lean against the car? And I was like, no, I'm fine.
That's phenomenal.
That's so good.
That's great.
Why did you think that was a good idea?
I didn't. I just had too bad. I was putting away stuff. I was,
Well, why would you press up against a car? Like, it's like,
oh, you know what? It was one of those times where there's other people still walking down the aisles. So I didn't know like what it was going to happen. They're coming too. Like I said, I'm not one of those dudes like, oh, or just, whips it out anywhere and uses the restroom. Dude, like,
what are you whipping out?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
Also, why do you whip it out
some of
so
those
fast?
guys like, oh, hold on. I gotta take a pee.
Okay.
And you're like,
oh, I thought you were talking about like leaning
Yeah.
against the car. And
Yeah.
No. And I'm like, I'm not one of those dudes. So like, yeah, or the one who's the guy who's always farting, like Herb. I'm like, oh, come on. So, anyways, I thought I was being discreet and hiding it. And
That's great.
nope.
Bourne
Yeah.
gives it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. So
All
there's
right.
mine.
Who wants to go next?
Most embarrassing. Look at everybody. No, we're done with 30.
Yeah,
Thanks for being here.
You know what it is? Because
How do you follow that up?
I feel like there is an embarrassing story, but for me, I get so sensitive about it that I generally forget. I guarantee you, when this is over, I will think of a really embarrassing one, and almost like I'm glad I didn't share it. But the one that I guess I'll just say one that did. Two came to mind, so I'll share one of them. It was like my second day ever in LA. I decided to check out. I'd never been to West Hollywood, so I was like, I'm gonna go down to West Hollywood. There was a 24-hour fitness, and I wanted to go in and train. So I go in there and I start marking out like crazy because the first person I ever run into is Steve Cardenas, who's the second Red Power Ranger. And I start chatting him up. I'm like, I just moved here. He was super cool. And then he was like, oh, we should get together sometime. What we could do, I teach martial arts privately. And I was like, I wanted to learn jujitsu. And he goes, I teach that. And I was like, great. I would love to. And I was like, oh my God, a Power Ranger is going to be my trainer. It's going to be so cool. And I asked them, I had to shower. So I go to the steam room, I steam, I go to shower, I take a shower, and I had no idea of the geography of the gym. And I go, where's the locker room? And they go, it's downstairs. So you're literally showered, and the locker room you have to walk down a flight of stairs. And I look at the flight of stairs, and there's a big old sign that says, please towel off completely before getting on the stairs. And I look down, and it's just a trail of water all down. And I was like, this is good. This is going to be great. And there's no skid strips. There's nothing. And I'm just in a towel. I completely dry off. And people are literally passing me butt ass naked, just going on the stairs, like wet and just dripping everywhere. And I was like, this is so dangerous. And I'm not joking when I say this. I went like a granny. I literally held the side like with both hands. I took one step. All I see are my legs hit the air. I see this towel flying by itself, has left my body, and I completely tumble down the stairs butt naked. And I completely wipe out. And I go into full-on adrenaline, like someone had just hit me playing football. And I get up and I take the towel and I rush to the locker, and I'm so embarrassed. And that if anyone had seen that, it would have been the funniest thing in the world. Just because I saw the way I wiped out, and I pictured myself outside of my body seeing somebody fall that way. It had to have been hilarious. But I was so mortified. It was my second day in LA. I was like on a personal high because I met a Power Ranger. And I was so embarrassed. And I could go to the locker room. I was like, I can't believe no one saw that. And I completely grabbed my stuff out of my locker. I get dressed as fast as I can. And by the time I make it to my car, I can see my hip has like doubled in size. I had a bruise. I'm not even joking, from right below my armpit all the way to almost my knee. If I had to take it in any later, I would have had to have been lanced to drain the infection. I was like purple and yellow, and it was gross, and it was really, really bad. And yeah, I mean, there's more complications that happen after that, but that like falling down the stairs naked my first day, or my second day in LA, that was a pretty hilarious / embarrassing thing.
Indeed.
Sounds more painful than embarrassing at this point.
It was just, I think it was because I fell out naked.
Fortunately, no one was there.
But it was just funny because even the towel that was tied around my waist,
it was like a cartoon fall,
flew in the air. It's like out of my reach. It's like an anime, like you just see it like flapping there. It was like all happening in slow motion, and I could see far away is the towel flapping, and I see my big toe, and I'm like, oh, my feet are going over. It had to been a fraction of a second, but it was completely in slow motion for me. And I just remember it so clearly. And I was like, it was like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Like it all happens in slow motion, but it was a fraction of a second. But it was, if someone had saw it, did we win the lawsuit at least? I did settle.
All right.
It is actually true. I found out I was the second person to fall that week. Wow. I made his case open and shut. It's a long story. I'll try to make it as short as possible because I only tell long stories. I ended up going to a chiropractor. He adjusted my neck, and because I couldn't work out my lower body, I worked out my upper body. The chiropractor never told me you can't work out after an adjustment. And I actually bulged 2 discs in my neck, and I still have arthritis today. Yeah, I couldn't move my neck for 4 months because of that chiropractor.
The story gets worse, dude. What the heck?
I actually got better, and it took me a month to get better on my hip. And I told the guy, I was like, I don't know how to tell you this, but I haven't been able to move my neck since your first adjustment. And then he was like, well, what happened? And I said, I don't know. You adjusted me. I went to the gym. I did pull-ups because I can't work out lower body. And he's like, who told you to work out after an adjustment? I went, well, no one told me not to. And his face turned white. And I went, oh, no. And he didn't say anything, but he's like, I did this thing. So I had to go to him for 4 months for him to fix my neck because he messed it up.
Mm.
It was really bad. It was really bad. Anyway, I did settle with 24-hour because that was some pain. I couldn't sit, stand, or lie down at all. And I was 27 years old. And I was like, that's
poorly
not right.
designed, by the way. How do you
Yeah.
have the showers bloody?
Oh,
completely
because it was an
built?
old building. They inherited the building that way. And I think it wasn't originally a gym.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
well,
They
makes
decided
sense.
not to
That's
change
why you read.
anything. And then
Well, you gotta
apparently
change things, man. That's silly.
2 weeks after I was the second guy to fall that week, a third guy fell. He was 70 years old and busted his head open and bled everywhere.
Oh,
He had to go to the ER, and there was because it was already too.
How
that guy made
embarrassing.
money.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah.
got from embarrassing
That
to
guy made
absolutely
money,
horrible.
and they put in they like within like 2 months after that they put in the skid strips on the steps.
Johnny with a very generous super chat says for the Augie ice cream fund.
I got Trader Joe's ones in the fridge right now. I might go grab Snackmigo.
Whoa.
Ooh. All right. Does anybody else have one that they would like to share?
I mean, I'll go. Outside of mispronouncing a name in a live stream that follows you everywhere.
Who's?
I'm not doing it again.
You're like
Uh,
Matcha toy.
Matcha toy? No. So I work in advertising, and I did a scratch VO for a rough cut, and we showed it to the client, and the client ripped the entire video apart for probably a solid 20 minutes, and like literally laid into everything, like the actor, this, that, and then she goes, and one more thing. I don't know who this voiceover person is, but they should never do voiceover again. It was absolutely horrendous. I never want to hear their voice again. And I was like, good to know. Okay, great. So yeah, and I
changed
it was like
your
in
voice
front of
when
my
you
whole
responded?
team. Yeah, I was like, oh well, we'll make sure to fire that person. So
We're gonna get rid of him as soon as we're done here. I guarantee it.
yeah, he's already out the door. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just one of those like in front of everybody and like my boss and everybody too.
Yeah,
They
everybody
just-
that you work with.
yeah, everybody I work with. Like the video's bad, but also this guy.
Yeah, the little cherry on top.
Yeah.
You know, she's like some actress that didn't make it, and she's so
Yeah.
excited to give notes.
To get
She was
people
a
are always
drama
excited
major
to
in college and didn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
Oh,
So,
man.
yeah. Definitely not falling down the stairs, but
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Anyone want to go next?
I can't think of anything. That's the problem. Like what Augie was saying before. Usually, like if something embarrassing happens, it's gone the next second. Especially like I don't even remember much of anything. That's the problem too. So
My brother will remember things about me if Junior were here, and the assignment
Mm.
was like, say
Yeah,
embarrassing.
I'm
thing
sure of
happened to
that too.
Junior, I could have an answer, and something embarrassing about me, he would have an answer.
But I can't. I'm drawing. I can't even think of anything.
I'll give you an
right now.
example. I don't remember this, but my brother said when I was a kid. Funny, we're talking about ice cream sandwiches from Trader Joe's. My brother said when I was a kid, I have no memory of this. I would routinely, it's so gross, I would pick up ants and put them in my ice cream sandwiches and be like a monster and eat the ants in my ice cream sandwiches. I have no memory of this at all. And Junior swears up and down I did this.
You are a psycho.
Ernie, I thought your hot dog story was bad, but
Yeah.
No, Junior, and
Yeah.
I was like, I wouldn't ever eat a bug. That's so gross. And he goes, I couldn't believe it either. And I was like, what are you doing? And you just kept doing it. And I have no memory of it. And
you're a
he's like,
monster. I
this
guess.
honest to God happened. And I was like, you are crazy. He's like, you're crazy. You're the one who did it. And I'm like, I have no memory of this at all. And he always reminds me, he's like, you did do this?
And the only one I could think of right now is when we went on a Disney cruise years ago, and I had way too many margaritas the night before, and I woke up super hungover. And then we went to breakfast before we were supposed to leave the boat, and I ate breakfast, so I was feeling a little bit better. And this is like wake up, like head pounding, throwing up, dry heaves, the whole shebang, right? Just completely thrashed. And so I ate breakfast, and I was like, oh no, I have to vomit, and I have to vomit now. And so I run out of the restaurant, and there's a bathroom there, but there's a line of gentlemen waiting to use the bathroom. So do a quick little circle and I look at the stairs and I'm like, all right, I'm going up the stairs. The next floor should have one. And I go up there and I'm looking around. No, there's no bathroom around here. So then I go back to the stairs and go up again. And at this point, I'm like biting down on my tongue because I'm like, this is going to happen. I really don't want it to happen here on this nice carpet where everybody has to walk and everything. This is going to be horrible. So I run and there's an open bathroom. I'm like, all right, it's got one stall, and I go to grab it and it's locked. And I'm like, oh no. And as I turn, that's it. Time was out. That was it. Just all over the wall, all over the mirror, all over the sink. And I'm like, whew. I look around and I bolt. And then
That person, when they came out of the stall,
Oh no.
Yeah. And that sounds like a story I would finish. This one time I was on a cruise and I came out of the bathroom.
yeah.
And I didn't do it.
How much would it suck to be that person? And you just
Oh.
come out and it just smells like barf and it's
oh,
everywhere.
dude, it's just,
Oh.
and
You're
it's
just like,
all
oh,
over.
God.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Fire
yeah.
hose.
It's everywhere. Yeah, it like shot on the wall, on the mirror, on the sink, everywhere, all over the counter. And so like
That's not good.
I jetted out of there and I'm like hustling down the stairs. So I look at my shirt and I'm like, oh, just one little drop. Okay, cool. That works. So I like
go. You were a puke dragon.
yeah, and I run to my family and they're standing there with the bags and everything. And I'm like, okay, let's go now. Let's go. We got to go. And then my wife's like, why? I'm like, I'll explain later, but let's get off this boat right now. Come on. We got to go. We got to go.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
At least you made it to the bathroom.
Cheney's
that
photos on a ban list.
Dude, that was no joke.
What do you
That
mean
was
I can't board the boat? You know why, sir.
Well, I look at it this way, like good thing that guy had like locked the door because like in my mind it was like if I could just get the door
Oh my
open, it's
God.
Yeah.
can you imagine?
Would you just
Oh,
keep
it
going?
opened
Barf
and
all
you just
over
fall
him.
in.
Yeah, can you imagine you're sitting there like, all right, I think oh my God.
He just looks down, peels a little piece off his shirt, and goes, "You good?" And walks out.
Awful.
God,
Yeah.
dude, that's horrible.
Yeah, it was really bad. Really, really bad.
Uh,
Let's catch up with some of these comments here. Let's see, where were we?
Jeez. That's hilarious.
We were right here. Only target. Go on.
While I'm listening. Yoko, I already hate this story too.
Yeah.
Turn into LOL. Ernie calls a natural event. Oh.
Okay.
Classic
am I the last
Bernesto.
one? I guess I have one. Mine's more awkward than it is embarrassing.
Okay.
This was not this past Easter, but the year before, so 2024 Easter. I decided we were hosting here for Jordan's family. Her sister had just recently had a baby, and it was Easter, and I was like, so I wore clothes that I don't normally wear. Like I wore like this like button down light baby blue shirt, and then I wore these like greenish, like aqua, like pastel pants because I was like, this is the Easter colors, this will be cute. So her family like came over and like we're spending the afternoon. We were eating food and everything, and the new baby was there. And I like kids. I do well with kids. So I was actually holding Simon quite a bit, like walking around with him, like playing with him, like entertaining him while other people were eating and doing things. So it's like I was just like hanging out with the kid in my arms the whole time. And after her family all left, Jordan was like, hey, that shirt that you're wearing rides up really high and your pants are really tight and light colored. So my entire family knows exactly what your penis looks like.
No, Are you serious? Oh my god!
I was like, cool, good to know.
It's cool that she told you after, though.
Yeah. Not like pull you aside and say, "Hey, can you
Yeah.
put some new pants
Yeah.
on?"
Yeah.
And in fact, I think her exact words were like, "My entire family now knows that you're circumcised."
I love the misdirect in that story because you're talking about the baby, and I was like, oh, the
Yeah,
baby definitely
that
pooped on
was
him.
good.
I thought
That was
100% where that was going.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
He's like, so anyway, everyone saw my crank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Adam was I was walking around everywhere. Just hi. Oh my
Yeah.
god, how are you?
Hello.
He's like, so where's the embarrassing part?
Oh my
So I'm
god.
holding the baby, and then I've got a baby's arm in my pants. Thanks.
See, Adam, that's why you don't change your style. You know, you just
Yeah. Yeah.
keep it Adam. That's it.
Yep.
Oh my god. Classic Bernesto, says Renzi. So mine was an 8 out of 10. Redan says that was a canon event. It was. Even Metal couldn't hold that one, and now we know he's got powers. It was so bad. Rest in Pete the Fallen Fart. Jeez. No one saw you? 5 out of 10. Oh no, as someone who falls down the stairs often, I feel that pain. Yoko be falling. Damn. Did we win the lawsuit at least?
He did.
Aha, pain.
Pain.
Entertaining. Hey, that's a great story. 4 out of 10. This is an awful story. 4 out of 10.
My neck.
Did you settle with the chiropractor too?
No, because that was baked into the lawsuit.
Gotcha.
So yes, kind of.
Yeah. Jeez. The story is giving me stress.
I've been
It keeps getting worse. I hated that story too.
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, here's Renzi. Back in grade 9, I went to an amusement park with my friends. Wasn't prepared for the water park portion. Borrowed white basketball shorts. No underwear. You get the picture.
My fellow exhibitionist.
A t-shirt contest for guys.
7 out of 10. Yoko says, I fell down the stairs at Kev's house in front of the other enablers. At least I was fully clothed.
Yeah, but you know they love the jiggling. They were like,
You
that's
did? Nice, Toy Rensu. 9 out of 10. Chama's embarrassing story. I drew a less good Chun-Li one day.
No, he said Chunkly.
And I
Chunkly.
saw the Chunkly.
Is that a new one? I could draw.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
you should definitely draw Chunkly. That'd be hot.
Chunkly.
It
Yeah.
depends what chunk. You know what I mean? Because people have
Yeah.
different views on what chunk is.
You
Here
did
comes
say you're
Ernie.
open for commissions, right? I got an idea.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did. He did. Yeah.
Here comes Ernie in a Chun-Li outfit. How many steps, Yoko? Probably 6, and I bounced down every one. 6
and all the
steps?
enablers were like, ooh, ooh,
Jesus.
ooh, ooh.
The embarrassing moments only come back at 2 a.m. to not let you sleep. That's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah.
Chamba, 0 out of 10.
Sorry, dude.
Oh no, is Chamba back on the lean? That purple drink?
I was looking down because I was posing some figures.
9 out of 10, Yoko. Great story. Machu, first grade, story time in the school library. The kid in front of me let a fart out. It was super loud and stunk. Naturally, all the kids started turning their heads back like a wave. And the one that farted slowly turns back to look at me. And I didn't realize I was in the back of the class. Oh, geez.
Blamed it on you, dude.
Yeah. So when
Ernie
I turned
blamed his
around,
on the car.
I did. So when I turned around, there was no one there, and I took the blame. I made an enemy for all grade school with that kid. Margaret says, at my last job, I went to grab food with coworkers, and the sandwich I got didn't agree with me. So it was growling for a while, and everyone was silent. I thought maybe no one heard that, but it was like a whale making sounds. I I hated that story too. What the heck? I hate all these stories tonight.
And the theme is embarrassment, so we're gonna hate all these.
Yeah.
We're all being vulnerable tonight. Yes. I thought it was going to stop at I wore clothes. What's up, Grumps? Jay Shot's up late. Yeah, he's being a trooper. So Rensu, that was funny, says Marcus. Yoko, please be more careful on the stairs. Yes. Oh my. 10 out of 10. Do not mess with Chun-Li. No, you don't. Wait, this is free to everyone? Why did we make this a topic? That's what I said, Renzi.
I know we usually talk about other fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcus says, I love Chun-Li.
Notice Yoko hated every one of our stories except Adam's. Just
I think she hated mine too. Right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the last?
Man, I hated
Her
that story
last
too.
hated
What the
one?
heck? I hate all these stories today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were all equally bad. Yeah.
I thought that was for Cheney. No.
Yeah. I thought so.
Oh,
too.
Cheney's was bad.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Very embarrassing. Very embarrassing.
It's
best
not
is-
as embarrassing since you didn't get caught.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's more
Yeah.
embarrassing for the person that would probably walk out and go, "I didn't do this." It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Now, best compliment you ever got. Let's leave it on a high note.
That's not shots fired. That was observation. See?
No, the last one was for
See?
Cheney. She's definitely not going to follow Jay Shot.
I've given that up. No.
Adam is a good embarrassing story.
Go,
Here it is.
go me.
Yeah. Adam wins. Yeah.
I just remember telling my wife what happened. She's like, "You what?" I'm like, it time had run out. Time had run out. She's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, yeah.
I love the idea that like time has run out. Like you've got the Sonic underwater theme playing. It's just dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. That's
It did,
pretty
but
much how it
instead of
was.
coins shooting out, it was vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Instead of coins.
yeah, it was horrible. All right, I think we're about done here, Ernie.
Yeah, this was a crazy one, and this is the extra, basically. Thanks for everybody jumping in. Like you said, it gets crazier sometimes. Adam, thanks for sticking around and joining us. Yes, Jay Shot, we know it's late. Thank you very much. Augie, be careful with those stairs. Chamba, do something embarrassing. Come on. Yeah. And Cheney, oh my God. That restroom's been off limits till this day. That is it.
Yeah.
And I need to go find a car. So
Yeah.
we will see you guys next week. Thank you, everybody, for being a member and joining us. And we hope you enjoyed this freebie. We'll see you next week. Peace. Good night.